and we're hoping to have this continue to build our community. So welcome. I want to start by inviting Leon Clark, our Chair of Research Administration, who's been a great supporter for this, to get us started. Leon.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, and welcome to all of you once again. It's actually great to see all of you in the room on a cold Friday afternoon in December. One of the things that Steve was saying, he asked me, what is your lofty title? I don't really care. And in fact, I think what we're trying to do in terms of building an entrepreneurial ecosystem in Rochester and at Mayo Clinic should not be dependent on our titles. Right? I think it takes all of us working together, many grassroots efforts to bring this along. I wanted to maybe just say a couple of things on behalf of the research committee about why this is important to us. And I think what you're seeing at Mayo and in Rochester is a slight shift in our focus for our research and innovation activities. One of the things that Mayo Clinic has asked us to think about more carefully is translation. Not that we hadn't always had that as part of history, but again, the broadened definition including translation and application at the bedside, but also in the commercial marketplace. So the idea is, how do we get Mayo's ideas into the commercial marketplace so that they support healthcare consumers and patients everywhere. And so these efforts are essentially important. I would also say that this is part of our financial diversification strategy. So if you look at healthcare generally, I think you all recognize that there's a lot of change and uncertainty going on in the healthcare market. I think if we're going to sustain our research activity and our innovation engine at Mayo Clinic, one of the things that we'll have to think about is income diversification. And one of the ways in which we do that is by commercializing our IP, starting new companies that bring income back, not only to the Mayo Clinic, but to our community. So once again, I'm here just briefly to say thank you for your efforts and your interests. We are behind these efforts from a research committee standpoint. I would also say Mayo Clinic generally are behind efforts to promote entrepreneurship, commercialization, and economic growth in our community. We're here to help in any way that we can. So some of these ideas will move forward. We're interested in monitoring your progress. In some ways, we'll participate. But once again, I just wanted to summarize by saying thank you again for your interest. Thank you, Steve, for all of the good work that you're doing. Helping to promote, I think, the ecosystem that we really need here. So, thanks. Thanks, Leon.
Okay. I just wanted to say just a couple of things, especially because I was asked after our first event why we're doing this. And I thought we would do it with the same questions that my entrepreneurship students have to answer, which is, what's the problem? What's the solution? Why us? Why now? And how it's a business. I don't know that I understand the last one, but I'll do the rest, okay, for Walleye Tank. Okay. So nearly 75% of our economic growth since World War II is from STEM fields. Let's just start with some basic data. If you actually look at our top innovations, 90% of it came from federal investment. So you'd think, you put those add together, that this economic development should be a great argument for federal support. Okay, so this is this idea, right? This kind of research investment drives the economy, makes and works on solves world problems. So unfortunately, this is actually where we are. A few months ago, the White House let the summary that for R&D by the government, we're at a 60-year low, according to GDP. Okay, so percentage of GDP. All right, so if you're in healthcare, there's actually another thing that's even worse, which is called Eroom's law, which is that for the last 60 years, the cost of a new therapeutic has doubled every 9 years. And this line is largely unchanged. And the prediction has always been, when do we go to zero? So this was published a few years ago. The problem is actually been right, and actually it's accelerating. So in 2016, as of a few weeks ago, the number of new chemical entities that are approved by the FDA was half what it was last year. It was only 20. Right? So we're already at fundamental challenges. Okay, so this is why I think people are here in this room, Walleye Tank in the process. We need new solutions. And so Walleye Tank and the entrepreneurial community and effort is represented by this solution. We need to find our own ways to build and innovate in science and business where the business model supports the science and vice versa so that we can make our new solutions. And we have supporters. These are some of the bait shops. So our fish theme. We had the bait shops last time in June. And what we also do was highlight growing businesses. And these were the businesses from June. They were great. You can see all of these on our website via YouTube. Okay. But we also started building a new company, a deliberate process for startups. And this was the idea to pick an important problem, build a world-class team. These are almost all driven by students or residents. So other students met MD students. Build a pitch, and that was taught in a class, and we've now done it twice. And that was done first here in June, and you'll see the second graduating class today. I also want to answer why here. So I grew up in Illinois, but we were always jealous of the upper Midwest because of some key advantages. So this is us, Rochester. But you may not realize that we're within driving distance of 3 of the top 25 engineering schools in the world. There are very few places, very few geographies in the world that has that. And then if you combine the fact that Rochester is the highest density of physicians in the world, we should be able to solve problems. We should be able to take this wonderful physician hub, combine it with these engineering problems, and start systematically tackling new healthcare issues. There are other issues that can be done, but this is that opportunity. Why us? You may ask, why now? The state and Mayo are investing literally billions of dollars in the Rochester area for the next few years for the goal of doubling the size of Rochester and fundamentally changing how Rochester is under the Destination Medical Center. So this is that maybe once in a lifetime or once in a multi-decade time in an area to really push this. I would also point out that this week President Obama signed the 21st Century Cures Act. It was no new money, let me be clear, but the 21st Century Cures Act had a set of regulatory changes that are almost likely going to happen that deal with the FDA and allow some innovation with public-private partnerships for funding models that are going to happen. So I have no belief that there's going to be any more money, but I do believe that there's going to be the opportunities for how you spend the money, and that public-private partnerships are critical. Okay, I also want to point out that we're in the age of public benefit corporations. There are new therapeutic startups. That's a new funding model. And with the Title III funding for crowdsourcing, I didn't get it done this year, but I promise the next Walleye Tank, the members of the audience will be able to invest in the businesses that are going to be pitched in it. And that's called Title III funding. So there's no question that we are in an era where the opportunities are here. We're setting up the infrastructure. Now it's a matter of doing it. Doing it is what I like to teach by doing. So that's the idea. So welcome to Walleye Tank. When we came up with the name idea, the ice fishing edition, it was in the middle of global warming. I was a little worried. I admit I was a little worried that it was going to be 60 degrees and balmy in Minnesota in December. So I'm sorry because I think Mother Nature wanted to prove me right. So I'm sorry for that. But thank you for coming. We have a great lineup today of 3 junior anglers, 11 companies. Joy from Lifestyle Ledger has had to pass because of traveling issues, but the rest are here. And just wanted a quick intro. So these are 5-minute pitches. That includes the whole time. So it includes usually 2 minutes plus the 3 for Q&A by our walleyes. And we'll have them introduce themselves in a second. And we will have a top prize for junior anglers, and we will have 2 prizes for the professional sections, first and second place. I had to show this. This came from my high-class Chinese this week, but my fortune cookie, and my wife pointed out that's a great fortune because this is all about making an entrepreneurial community. And it says not you're going to get a fortune, you're not going to inherit a fortune, you're going to make a fortune with your friend. So I hope that this fortune will pass on to everybody in the room, and that we make as a wonderful community to change the world. So that's what's going on. Quick reminder that, Jamie, we're still on at Collider, even with the weather. I figure those are snowed in. We can go to Collider. And I understand that people might need to leave. But we will have escorts helping with getting to Collider afterwards. And I really hope that's a new addition because, one, Collider wasn't ready last time. But two, the goal is to not just have this be an event, but have the ability to have small individual discussions. So that's what's going on. If you have any questions, let us know. But in the meantime, I would like to meet the Walleyes. These are important entrepreneurs for strategy. So grab a mic. Perry, you want to start?
Is it on? Yeah. I'm Perry Hackett. I'm a co-founder of Recombinetics. I past founded Discovery Genomics, which was acquired by Immusoft, and I'm a professor at the University of Minnesota.
Hello, I'm Tracy Downs. My background is a PhD in neuroscience. I've been co-founder of Area 10 Labs for the last 15 years and doing real estate development within Rochester.
Hello, this is Andy Danielson. I'm Vice Chair of Mayo Clinic Ventures. We handle intellectual property coming from our clinicians and researchers around Mayo, and we also have both a seed and a venture fund to invest in, hopefully, some winners today.
Hi, Fernando Bazan. My background is a bit different, structural biology, but I'm the CTO right now at Biotechne in Minneapolis, sort of a big-ish biotech firm over here. My background's more in biotherapeutics and drug discovery, and most recently I was at Genentech in the Bay Area.
Hello, I'm Will Canine, co-founder of OpenTron's LabWorks. We're a 2.5-year-old startup based in Brooklyn, and I'm excited to be here and hopefully bring some of that coastal startup fervor to Rochester.
I'm Thomas Puff. I'm a corporate finance and securities law and venture capital attorney, and we, for the last 30 years, have helped build and grow and serve U.S. growth companies with funding, debt, equity, and taking them from startup to hopefully hundreds of millions or getting sold or going public or the like. And one of our great successes, I would say, we were involved in the starting of Taser International in Scottsdale from the ground floor of 3 employees to now. Yesterday when I was in Phoenix, they told me they're 400 and some odd million and 600 employees. So nice success there. So here you go, Steve.
No, you keep it. All right. All right.